Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Caroline Varn of Gap HR Services, and I do for human resources what contraception does for sex. I keep the fun in and take the risk out of managing staff, of course. Everything else we can talk about later. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do tonight in my 10-minute slot is concentrate on the most expensive mistakes that employers make when managing staff. Before I get started, I'd like a show of hands. Who here actually employs staff at the moment? Oh, great. Okay, so this will be a refresher for you guys. And who here has maybe employed staff in the past year for the first time? Nobody. Okay, that's good. And who here doesn't employ staff at all? That's good. Because when you grow your business empires and take on staff, you will know exactly what to do with them and avoid all the mistakes that everybody else has been making. Okay? Now, the biggest mistakes that cost money are because employers misunderstand why employees are working for them, they inadvertently discriminate against them, and they believe everything that an employee tells them. So, first one of the family. I met a small business owner recently, and she said to me that the most disappointing part of employing staff was that they didn't believe in her business as much as she did. They came to work, they worked, they went home. Now, that seems obvious to the rest of us. Why wouldn't they do that? I mean, that's what employees do. But it's very easy to get caught up in your own dreams and ideas for the business and expect everybody else to buy in. If you think back, however, to when you took your first job, after school, after university, or even your second or third job, or even your current job, why did you take it? It's probably because you needed money to pay the rent. And even if it wasn't rent, you probably needed money to go down the pub with your mates on a Friday night. So that's the mentality we're starting from, is that employees come to work to earn money. If the social interaction of work and the tasks you're asking them to do are not satisfying, then they will probably leave. But if you don't pay them, they will definitely leave. Nobody's going to do it voluntarily, certainly not in the businesses here. Nothing against your businesses. Employees don't have the same dreams, motivations and ideas that business owners have. Remember this when you're confiding anything about your business to them, or when you're assuming that they're going to act in a certain way. They are not willing to sacrifice all for your business. They can actually leave. And when they do, they could turn around and sue you, even if you were best buddies while you're working together. So always remember that relationship when you've got people working for you. Now, this has been in the news a lot lately, discrimination, because of the Equality Bill that's coming into force on the 1st of October. So what I would like you to do is just shout out the 9 areas that you are not allowed to discriminate on anymore, and I'll put them up on the board. Age, yeah. Disability, absolutely.
Experience.
Race, yeah.
Gender.
Yeah. Gender, yeah. Sorry, didn't catch that one?
Sexuality.
Yeah, sexual orientation. Is there any religion? Yeah, religion or belief. Oh, well, now we come to the difficult ones. Now, marriage and civil partnership. Most of you would have got that one. Pregnancy and maternity, which is separate from gender. And the one which doesn't often happen in my clients so far, but things can change, is gender reassignment. Okay. So those are the 9 deadly sins of discrimination. And as you can see, it's grown from just being about gender to take in a lot of subtleties. It's really easy as an employer to inadvertently discriminate against somebody. And you have to remember that the people have protection against discrimination from the moment you start interviewing them. So effectively, when you get somebody's CV, they already have protection from discrimination and they can sue you. So if you reject their CV and you're possibly misguided enough to write in it, we're not going to employ you because you are a Catholic or because you have children, or at the interview stage you reject them because they wear a cross around their neck, then you will be sued for thousands of pounds. So you need to remember that when you're recruiting somebody and employing them, but when you're recruiting them, you're evaluating their appearance and their attitude and their beliefs only in as much as it's relevant to the job they need to do. You're looking for the best person for the job, not the best person to take out with your mother-in-law to a Sunday lunch. Okay? That's inadvertent discrimination. If you're doing it deliberately, you deserve everything you get. Okay? Right, now, the one believing everything your employees say. We all make assumptions about people. If they are white Caucasians, speak reasonable English, and come from the Commonwealth, we assume that they have the right to work in this country. That isn't always the case. If it's someone like Australian or New Zealanders, they're usually here on a 2-year working holiday permit, which means they can work for 1 year, and when that year is over, they have to go on holiday. If you employ them, you are employing an illegal alien. And that is then a fine of £10,000 for doing it by mistake. If you do it deliberately, it's a prison sentence and £10,000. So what you need to do with anybody and everybody is take a copy of their photo ID to see if there are any work permits in there and check that the work permit is still valid. Okay? The Customs and Excise don't expect you to see whether it's fake or real. That's not what they're expecting. They just want you to check that a date hasn't expired. And by taking that photocopy, which costs, 1 pence, you've protected yourself from a £10,000 fine. Okay? Now, the other two, identity fraud and qualifications, are interlocking and are more important on a daily basis for your business. When you're recruiting somebody, you're asking for a certain level of experience and qualifications. Now, somebody says they've got an honours degree and 5 years' experience. How do you know that that's the truth? The statistics say, and I know there are lies, damn lies in statistics, but at least 1/3 of people lie on their CVs to get the job interview, because they know when they get the job interview, they can get into the job. But if you need that qualification, that experience, you need to check that the people that Joe Blogg says he's got an honours degree, that he actually does have an honours degree. But that then goes over into identity fraud. You ring up the university, they say Joe Blogg has an honours degree. Great, okay. Is it the same Joe Bloggs? Could be a different Joe Bloggs. Is it actually Peter Smith who's pretending to be Joe Bloggs? Sounds maybe a little bit extreme, but these things happen because people want a secret life for whatever reason. So again, we come back to you need to photocopy the photo ID and any original certificate of anybody claiming that they have a degree or any other qualifications. PDF files, anything in software can be changed, as we all know. So it has to be the original paper copy to protect yourself and make sure that you get the person that you think you're recruiting. Ooh, forgot to put my pretty pictures on there. Thank you. My passport and my certificate. So, in summary, the top mistakes that employers make are that they assume that the employees have the same motivations and priorities as they do, that they inadvertently discriminate against them, and that they believe everything they say and end up with somebody who they didn't actually want to recruit in the first place. Okay. At Gap HR, we keep you safe, we keep your business safe, we keep your money safe. I like my piggy bank. I had that on Twitter. We keep you safe by practicing safe HR. Thank you. Yes.
If you ignored someone's CV that they've sent unsolicited,
Yes.
just because you forgot or didn't get around to it was on the to-do list,
Yeah.
have they got any grievance at all because you haven't acknowledged or followed?
No. No, you just annoy people. Yeah.
Social media.
Social
Should you check out prospective employees' Facebook pages and their Twitter accounts and things like that?
Yes, no. Yes, because it'd be good to find out what they have on their Facebook page. No, because when you found out what's on their Facebook page, you might not want to employ them anymore. There was a case, actually, as the big consultancies actually did go and check people's Facebook pages and then said, oh, we're not going to make an offer, and it was ruled that that was actually unfair. because that was infringing on their private life. Coming back to discrimination, is it relevant to the job? They might be partying all night, but if they can do the job during the day with no problem, what does that matter?